Hello, my name is Nick. I'll be shaving my head alongside you to raise money for pediatric cancer research. Much progress has been made for treating different types of blood cancers, such as leukemia. My daughter Jasmine had osteosarcoma, a form of bone cancer that is difficult to cure. She was a student at Hong Kong International School, and I'm honored to share her story. Jasmine had just started fourth grade when she began complaining about a pain in her leg. I assumed it was growing pains and suggested that we wait and see if it improved. But when the pain continued and a simple touch caused her to scream in agony, her mom brought her to the doctor. Quality Health Care performed an x-ray and the image showed a large cloud where the fibula should have been. We rushed to a specialist who suggested an immediate MRI followed by a PET scan. The tumor was clearly visible, but it would take a biopsy to determine the diagnosis. Jasmine was admitted to Queen Mary Hospital within the week, and the doctors confirmed she had bone cancer. Curing cancer is a tricky business. The cells are not foreign invaders. They are our own cells that have obtained superpowers. They divide faster than normal cells and don't play fairly. Normal cells grow until they bump into nearby cells, at which point they kill themselves. Cancer cells keep dividing. How do you find a drug that kills the cancer cells but won't, in the process, kill you? The standard approach has been to use cancer's strengths against it. Cancer drugs target fast-dividing cells by forcing mistakes in the cell division process. The more frequently a cell divides, the more likely it will die under the influence of chemotherapy. Unfortunately, humans also have fast-dividing cells: hair, nails, blood, and mucous membranes. It is for this reason that cancer patients lose their hair, get lines in their fingernails, need blood transfusions, and use soft bristle toothbrushes. It is the therapy, not the disease, that causes them to be bald. A few days after the first round of chemotherapy, Jasmine's hair began to fall out, and the pain in her leg subsided. The chemotherapy was working, and fast-growing cells were dividing. To prevent her pillow from accumulating chunks of hair, I put shaving cream on Jasmine's head and shaved it clean. We counted down the cycles of chemotherapy, plotted her platelet, white, and red blood cell counts, and embraced the surgery to remove her fibula as a compassionate alternative to removing her whole leg. The histology of the removed bone revealed that the chemotherapy had killed more than 95% of the tumor. This was great news, and the next 4 months of treatment seemed like an unnecessary precaution. And yet, the chemotherapy continued, causing her to lose the ability to hear high-pitched sounds and running the risk of damaging her heart. On the last day of chemotherapy, the nurses came to congratulate Jasmine. Ironically, she shared a room with a teenager who had just returned from boarding school in the UK to begin her own treatment for leukemia. On her way out, we scanned the thank you notes on the wall and looked forward to Jasmine being another survivor. Jasmine returned to the fourth grade before the end of the school year. Her hair returned and she regained control of her right ankle. Life was back to normal for the fifth grade. She returned to the Stingrays and practiced taekwondo and piano. She made new friends, enjoyed the fifth grade camping trip, and had a blast at the end-of-year fifth grade Hong Kong walkabout. But starting in the sixth grade, Jasmine began to complain that her shoulder hurt after swim practice. A regularly scheduled CT scan revealed 2 growths in her lung, and Jasmine missed the trip to the Beijing to have them removed. As she recovered from the operation, we noticed a lump in her right thigh, and Jasmine's left ring finger was swollen and painful. A PET scan revealed that these too were tumors, with the possibility of more tumors in her left knee and deep in her chest. The doctors at Queen Mary indicated that there was nothing further that they could do. We refused to give up and returned to New York City for further treatment. With more chemotherapy, the tumors shrank, and Jasmine enjoyed an extra year of event-filled life. She visited museums, played Minecraft with her friends, studied with a teacher, and completed sixth grade. After 6 months of chemotherapy, the doctors felt they could completely remove all of Jasmine's tumors. The surgeons removed her left ring finger. opened her chest to remove a tumor near her heart and resected the tumor in her right thigh and used liquid nitrogen to kill the tumor in her right shoulder. But cancer cells had survived and were already weakening the remaining bone in her arm. Within a few weeks, the bone broke. Jasmine fought through the pain until the swelling extended all the way to her hand and she lost all the use of her fingers. She soon accepted that her arm would not improve and that she would be happier without the painful appendage. In a desperate attempt to relieve her pain, I eagerly signed the medical form allowing the doctors to amputate Jasmine's arm. With her arm removed, life improved again, but another tumor was growing in her knee. Radiation therapy helped reduce the speed of growth and swelling, but did not, and could not, cure her. We were faced with the horrible prospect of cancer continuing to painfully spread throughout her body without actually killing her. Mercifully, the cancer spread to her lungs and she began to have trouble breathing. After a few weeks of using an oxygen tank, the carbon dioxide was building up in her body faster than it could be expelled. On a Saturday, 1 week after her 13th birthday, Jasmine complained that her breathing had become increasingly difficult. Upon returning to the hospital, we found she was coughing up blood and not mucus. Jasmine faded in and out of consciousness, and by Monday morning, while sleeping deeply, her breathing slowed and then stopped. Our sadness was tempered with the knowledge that her final moments were peaceful and that her long struggle had finally come to an end. I share this painful story with you to emphasize how far we are from curing childhood cancer. Jasmine was unlucky, but even the lucky children live with the side effects of treatment and may develop secondary cancers. Much progress has been made on anti-nausea medicine and painkillers to counter the side effects of chemotherapy so that even higher doses of chemotherapy can be administered. We need better options for our children, not more of the same. I thank you for recognizing the importance of pediatric cancer research and your willingness to show the world your bald head. This is a fantastic charity and one that invites discussion by merely walking into a room. Take these opportunities to share your passion for curing pediatric cancer. Together, we can help find a cure.